Welcome to the Sports on Pulse. I'm Gary R. Smith. It's election week in Africa and in Ghana. On the 15th of March, that's on Wednesday, we'll be having the Ghana Olympic Committee elections. And on the 16th, we'll be having the Confederation of African Football CAF elections in Addis Ababa. We'll tackle the first one today, and then in the intervening days, we'll be looking at what will be happening with Issa Hayatou and co. As you may know, Professor Francis Dodoo is the current president of the Ghana Olympic Committee. He is being challenged, and they say that the people who are campaigning against him are doing so on the ticket of change. Somebody in the corner of Professor Francis Dodoo is in the studio with me. Tomorrow, we get the other half of the discussion. Erasmus Kwao is the spokesperson of the Ghana Olympic Committee. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Right. So, first of all, just to lay the groundwork for our viewers, why are the 15th of March elections important? Obviously, it will be an election, but why is it important in the larger context of our sports?
Well, just right behind you is a beautiful picture of, the athletes who went to the Samoa Commonwealth Youth Games 2015. The athletes. That is the most important thing, in all this election, because whatever decisions are taken ultimately goes to benefit them or, affect them negatively. And so we are talking about the voice of the athletes being heard during this election. That's why we're talking about the Athletes Commission. We are ultimately planning towards Tokyo 2020. That's why so much has been said about fundraising, which is one of the, the duties of the GOC to complement the effort of government as far as our qualifiers, our preparation for the Olympic Games is concerned. And so just to sum it up, for me, those are just the key things.
Right. So Nunoo Mensah, like I said, is battling the incumbent, Professor Francis Dodoo, for the presidency. Now, Mr. Nunoo Mensah is saying that the current administration have been, among other things, they have been incompetent at managing their jobs, they have been corrupt, and he also says that they are abusing their incumbency because they are up to a lot of shenanigans ahead of the elections. I'll put a couple of questions to Erasmus. Erasmus, tell me, first of all, the change camp say that Professor Francis Dodoo has not been transparent in his dealings. Among other things, they believe that a lot of money has been coming from outside sources. Sponsorship monies have not been declared. What do you have to say?
Well, the GOC works in collaboration with all the national federations. And as I've said, our role is to send the Ghana's teams to the Commonwealth Games, to the Olympic Games, and then also fundraise.
All Africa Games?
All Africa Games. No, that is a National Sports Authority.
Okay.
So anything related to Olympics, which gives us that direct access to the IOC, we come in. There's been talk about, ANOCA, which is an association of national Olympic committees in Africa, taking over the All Africa Games, but it's never really materialized. So that's why we're not talking about All Africa Games. And so that is our role. And so when people start talking about corruption and all that, we really have to get in context. So every year, GOC gets $40,000 from the IOC for administrative.
That's the International Olympic Committee.
Yeah, International Olympic Committee. So they call it administrative subsidy. What you use that money for is to run your office, run your organization throughout the year, $40,000. We get $85,000 to run our activities. So GOC wants to be able to fly teams out for Olympic qualifiers or want to complement the effort of teams, by, helping them with their preparation. We draw up a plan, $85,000 is distributed to them over the period of our activity for the year, $125,000. And so for those who are saying 1 million, 2 million, this is what it is. And of course, we talk about preparation grants coming from the IOC or Commonwealth, Federation to support our drive towards the Olympic Games. Last year was such a phenomenal year. I say that because we were able to raise funding, which enabled us to send teams out to qualifiers. And it's due to the fact, since 2012, government has not been supporting federation. Government has not been supporting our drive towards the Olympics. So we have had to take over that responsibility, sending 10 national teams out, including weightlifting, Nunoo Mensah's federation. They went to Yaoundé, Cameroon. We bought them tickets. We can talk about swimming. They went to the Romanian International TOSE's team. We bought them tickets. They never complained. They were so grateful to the GOC for doing that. But subsequently, they've not really projected it out. All we've heard is negativity. They are corrupt. They are this, they are that. And when we asked for the facts, we really did not get a fact. And so I'm just trying to be transparent, at this point. whoever comes on should be able to provide facts. After all, that is what we are in for.
All right, in 1 minute, can you tell us what Professor Francis Dodoo hopes to achieve? He's been in power for 5 years.
Yes.
What does he hope to achieve if he's given the nod for the next tenure?
Well, more contribution to the success of federations and ultimately the athletes. And so when we talk about the fact that we got $170,000 from Cocoa from Ghana to support our drive towards the Olympics last year, that was a stepping stone. Now we're talking a longer term deal, 1.5 million euros on the table. We're talking about a national lottery. That discussion is about getting concluded with the ministry. It could get us, you know, something in the region of $10 million going forward. So those are the projections. That is what he stands for, and that's what we want to contribute to sports development. Right.
Succinctly put, Erasmus Kwa, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you,
and Godspeed during the elections to your candidate, Professor Francis Dodoo, who is the incumbent. Nunoo Mensah and his team will hopefully be able to get them tomorrow for them to give us their 10 minutes or so of explanations about why they should be voted for to be the people to lead Ghana sports, especially on the Olympic side, forward. My name is Gary Osman. That's been the sports for now. I'll be back at 8:20 on Prime with more from International News.